So British impact on society and culture. This is our new topic that we are going to cover. So what were the British impact on the society and culture of India? So here we are going to cover the points: reformation movement, and what were the social and cultural policies, then education policies, and what is the impact of reform movement and British administrative and judicial system. Okay, so let us start the topic. This is our topic. So British impact on society and culture. The British rule in India transformed India's social cultural sphere. Indian society underwent many changes after the British came to India. So, as the British rule was going on in India, we have seen a lot of changes in the society and the culture of Indian. So, there was a impact of Britishers and their rule was there. And as a result, we will see few changes in the society. So, first one is the reformation movement. Okay, so few things are going to change here. Women were discriminated against all the stages of life and were the disadvantaged section of the society. So earlier in India, so women were discriminated against, either it is in child or in their adolescence period, or either they are married. So they have been discriminated and were just regarded as the disadvantaged section of the society. It means they don't have any special place in the family, in the society. They were neglected one. The Renaissance Reformation movement that took place in Europe led to several reform movements in different parts of India. So the Renaissance, the Enlightenment period, the Reformation movement that was going on in Europe, that has also influenced Indian also. Okay, so many reform movement in different parts of India has also seen. Social practices like sati, child marriage, infanticide were banned in India due to this movement. So earlier social practices were very much prevalent in India, where among them sati system was very much active at that time. So sati system was a practice of Hindu just widow would burn herself alive on her husband's funeral. Okay, so that system was there and it was banned. Child marriage was there, so child below the age of 14, like they are in the age of 6, 7 or 8 years, so they have been married. And infanticide, so just killing of child, just crime of killing a child, right, were banned in India due to this movement. Practice of sati was banned in 1829 by Lord Bentinck. He would just ban it in the year 1829. And widow remarriage was permitted by a law passed in 1856. And after that, and again widow remarriage. Now the widow, since the sati system has been banned, widow are allowed to live, and remarriage, they can do remarriage also. And a law was passed in the year 1856. A law passed in 1872 sanctioned intercaste and intercommunal marriages also. Again in the year 1872, a law has been passed that intercaste marriage can be done and intercommunal marriages can be done. So intercaste means people of different castes, right? And intercommunal means people of different communities. So they are allowed to do marriages. All the movements severely criticize the caste system and especially the practice of untouchability. Okay, so whatever the reform movement was going on, they strongly just criticized the caste system that was prevalent in India, especially the practice of untouchability. So it was a social institution that discriminate people based on their caste. Okay, by the various reformers of India such as Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, Aruna Asaf Ali and Pandita Ramabai. So this is the reformation that we have seen, the movement that was an impact of British rule in our society. Okay. Second, we will see the social and cultural policies, implementation of social and cultural policies. Okay. Some of the Britishers believed that Western ideas were modern and superior. Some of the Britishers, okay, not all, but some of them believed that the Western ideas and they were superior, while Indians' ideas were old and inferior. However, it was not true. Indians had a very rich traditional learning, isn't it? There was a group of radical in England who had a humanistic ideology towards Indian. Now, who were the radicals? So, they were a group of people who strongly believe in the political and the social development of the people. Okay, so they were based on the England and they had a humanistic ideology towards India, that human rights should be should be given preference. Okay, they were believe in this, but the British government was just he was cautioned in undertaking rapid modernization of India, as they fear too much interference may hurt Indian religious belief and social custom. Since this group of radical from England, they want to change the Indian system. Okay, so many things were going on, they don't like it and they want to change. But British government was very much careful in undertaking rapid modernization, just changing the things immediately, because they fear too much interference may hurt Indian religious belief and social custom, and as a result they may see some rebellion from the Indians. That was, they were afraid of just implementing all these things immediately. The English wanted perpetuation of their rule in India and not a reaction among the people. So the English wanted to perpetuate, it means to continue their rule in India, not reaction among the people. So they were very much careful. Okay, even though a group of radical were they just want to change the Indian society and implement few policies, but just want to implement the society, the cultural policies, but the Britishers were very much careful. Now, the third one is the education policies. So we will see some education policies also and some changes in the education system also in India. The British took a keen interest in introducing the English language in India. So British was very much interested to just introduce English language in India, so that to minimize the administrative cost and cultivate a class of Indian who were loyal to Britishers. So English language was not prevalent in India, and as a result all the things have to be done by the Britishers. They have to appoint the people. Now they want that the Indian should be educated in English so that it will minimize their administrative cost. They will work in the this one office, and as a result they will also get a class of Indian who were loyal to Britishers. The British Parliament issued the Charter Act of 1813, by which a sum of 1 lakh rupees was sanctioned for promoting Western science in India. So British Parliament in 1830, they have just given a sum of 1 lakh rupees for promoting Western science in India. Okay, so that the Western science should be taught in the schools. In 1854, Wood's dispatch asked the government of India to assume responsibility for the education of the masses. Now, Wood's dispatch, so he was the uh, Charles Woods Charles Charles Wood was the president of board of control of the East India Company. He has given the he has just asked the people to assume responsibility for the education of the masses. Asked the Indian to just take the responsibility for educating the Indians. As a result, Department of Education was instituted in all provinces and affiliated universities were opened in Calcutta, Madras and Bombay in the year 1857. So he has asked the Indian people to take the responsibility for just educating the people, and in the year 1857 we have seen a lot of affiliated university were open in Calcutta, Madras and Bombay. Okay, first affiliated university were open here. Many reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Swami Vivekananda absorbed Western ideas of liberalism, democracy and used it to reform non-humanitarian social and religious practices of time. So many reformers, so these reformers were that they strongly believe that the idea of liberalism should be there, flexibility should be there, and democracy where the people will be allowed to just participate in the formation of the government. And not only this, to reform the non-humanitarian, whatever the ill practices were prevalent in the society and the religious practices of that time, they just want that all this should be just evacuate from the society. They want the rights of individual. Okay, they want a government that is of a country that will be elected by the people. So these were the reformers. They have a very important role in just bringing just changing the society and the culture of Indian. Okay, after that the impact of reform movement. So we will see some changes in the reform movement due to this. So this reform movement helped many Indians to come in terms with the modern world. So they just now understood that what is modern world is there, what changes should be there, how education can bring a lot of changes, and what are the areas that need to be improved. All these things, due to reform movement, the people get connected with the people of other countries and they get to know that these changes is needed in our society also. Okay, After that, the reformers felt that modern ideas and culture could be best imbibed by integrating them into Indian cultural stream. Not only this, this reformer also feel that the modern ideas and the culture can be imbibed, can be integrated in the Indian culture, and in this way we can improve our way of living also, we can improve our education also, and we can live in a better society. The introduction of modern education guided the Indian towards a scientific and rational approach to life. Not only this, the education has also just allowed the people to think scientifically. Just a method of inquiry was included based on the evidence. Not only this, the people began to think logically, and critical thinking was introduced in the life. So this is the result of reform movement. Finally, we have also seen some British changes in the administration and the judicial system. Okay, so due to this influence of British introduced a new system of law and justice in India, and the laws were codified and attempts were also made to separate the judiciary from the executive. So this British had introduced a new system of law and justice in India, and they just want that the judiciary and the executive system should be different. These two bodies should be different. So judiciary is the system where they interpret the law and resolve the disputes. Okay, and executive, they implement the law. So they want British introduce a new system, and they want to separate the judiciary and executive. Efforts were made to establish a rule of law in India. Okay, so by the Britishers also, so that a rule of law should be there, so that it should be benefited to each and every Indian. However, the law courts were not easily accessible to the common people. So common people can't able to go to the law, or they can file their complaint regarding the indiscrimination or whatever the injustice was going on. The new judicial system also discriminated between Europeans and Indians. Not only this, so the Britishers used to favor the Europeans and they don't punish them. Instead, Indians were not giving any importance. Okay. So these are the changes that we have seen as a result of British impact on society and culture. So the first one is the reform movement, how reformation movement just influenced the society. Then social and cultural policies, where a group of radical from England want to change the society, but Britishers were not in a hurry. They don't want to implement all these things in a hurry, because that will result in so many rebellions. Then we have seen education policies, where Charles would also ask the Indians to just educate the people, to educate the Indian masses, and as a result we have seen the introduction of the affiliated university and the colleges. Then impact of reform movement. So here we have seen the introduction of the critical thinking, logical thinking, and the scientific research. After that, British administrative and judicial system, where the Britishers want to separate the judiciary, the system, and the executive differently. And however, the law court was not easily accessible to the common people, and there was a discrimination among the Europeans and the Indians. Okay, so this is the topic we have covered. Let us meet with another topic in the next video.